Hi, Stephanie Pack here, sharing flight plan reflection. I begin my reflection with honesty. At this point in the flight, I am feeling a bit of turbulence. I need to return my tray to its full upright position and buckle up. Truly, I am working very hard with love and dedication to balance my three distinct professional roles. First, I am a homeschooling mom of two high school students. I am able to fulfill this role because of partnership with family, private tutors, and online resources. Secondly, I teach half day in the role of primary K-2 resource teacher at my local Catholic school. I shared in my original flight plan that St. Joseph's was where I first fell in love with school and learning. I am truly blessed to be giving back to the community that encouraged, loved, and educated me. And lastly, I am now again a student myself, entering professional study at an advanced level for the first time. I was fortunate to come to know of the dyslexia certificate course at UF through a parent at my school who is the mother of a profoundly dyslexic child. I knew I needed this education and was very excited to learn this summer that I was accepted into the program. However, I was concerned from the very beginning when I learned upon registering for classes in August that the 2-year option for the dyslexia certificate course was no longer available, and I would have to sign up for 2, not 1 fall classes. This more compressed, intense organization of study was not originally what I had hoped to do. As a dyslexic myself, more weeks to read and digest material is always appreciated. I still feel like so much of our first class, Foundations of Literacy Development and Dyslexia, I have yet to meaningfully process. I can and certainly will go back to that material and spend more time with it. I simply wish I had been able to stay with that single class for an entire fall semester and been able to give the content due attention. Of course, I do not know the decision making that went into removing the 2-year option, but I personally wish it was still available. So what I know that I want and need to gain the knowledge and understanding that the dyslexia certificate course will provide in order to be the teacher that I want to be and need to be for my students. A bit of turbulence is just where I am in the flight. I will adjust my altitude and continue toward this important destination. I am truly grateful to be on this flight. Currently, when I think of my goals, they're centered around 3 words: identification, intervention, and explanation. Because early and accurate identification of dyslexia is so critical in making a difference in a student's life, one of my top goals continues to be becoming more knowledgeable of and trained in administering screenings for dyslexia. I continue to hope for specific examples of screeners that my instructors in this course could recommend, demonstration of those screeners or example screeners completed on a dyslexic student shared in a PDF format would be very helpful to see. Continuing, it seems after reading much discussion so far that intervention programs are many and varied. Someone truly knowledgeable about dyslexia would be able to distinguish which is a good intervention. I am beginning to see those specifics and feel a little more confident about critically looking at intervention options. In many cases, I feel like a teacher in my position as resource, support, intervention specialist, especially in a private school, is responsible for finding the interventions to be used. I need to be able to discern well. And lastly, after conducting 9 interviews for my final project found in Foundations of Literacy Development and Dyslexia, an important goal arose for me. I need to be able to define and explain well to colleagues, administrators, parents, and students themselves what dyslexia is and is not. I realize how embedded the myths and misconceptions of dyslexia are, even in the community of education. To some people, dyslexia is an excuse for lazy kids, a direct result of a teacher not teaching letters and phonics well enough, just kids needing extra time to grow. They're just late bloomers. A clear result of parenting. Parents not reading to their children. It's the parents' fault. A result of kids being on devices all day. Dyslexia could be easily fixed with just the right pair of glasses or a color overlay. Or dyslexia can be fixed with just enough phonics practice. It's truly not that big of a problem. These are all sentiments or thoughts that I heard along my journey of interviews and as a parent of a dyslexic and a teacher from people. And I hope to be able to explain better those things that dyslexia is and is not, to empower this community in general. So I began my first flight plan by reading an excerpt from The Proust and the Squid, and I would like to end this reflection by reading again a quote included in that book by John Steinbeck. So the quote is by John Steinbeck, included in this book. I am reading from chapter 7. The title of the chapter is Dyslexia's Puzzle and the Brain's Design. A quote again by John Steinbeck. The greatest terror a child can have is that he is not loved, and rejection is the hell he fears. I think everyone in the world, to a large or small extent, has felt rejection, and with the crime, guilt. And there is the story of mankind. One child refused the love he craves, kicks the cat, and hides his secret guilt. Another steals so that money will make him loved, and a third conquers the world, and always the guilt and revenge and more guilt. John Steinbeck. Following this quote is a simple quote just attributed to a child with dyslexia. It says, "I would rather clean the mold around the bathtub than read." I have heard this sentiment as a teacher from a child, and I always felt if I could do something to make that not be the case, I want to be part of that mission. So here I am, hoping to continue to learn and grow in this most important endeavor. Thank you so very much.